Good evening, this is TVS Nightline and we begin with this story. Following the passing of political titan TUN Dr. LING LIONG SIK this morning at age 83, Their Majesty Sultan Ibrahim and Raja Zarif Sofia expressed their deepest condolences, celebrating a man whose career helped shape the modern landscape of the country. Dr. Ling was a pillar of the cabinet for decades, most notably serving a 17-year tenure as Transport Minister and leading the MCA for nearly 2 decades. From his early days as a Member of Parliament in the 70s and 90s to holding key portfolios in finance and education, his influence stretched across every level of government. A long-serving statesman and a life honorary president, TUN Dr. LING LIONG SIK leaves behind a legacy of public service that spanned over 30 years. Prime Minister Datuk Seri ANWAR Ibrahim says he is opening the door wide for the opposition to engage in discussions to help the government find solutions to address the global energy crisis. The Prime Minister stresses that any criticism regarding the management of the nation's economy should be based on sound knowledge and accurate facts.
Padahal seupaya kita, ikhtiar kita, RON 95 itu di antara paling rendah di dunia. Dalam keadaan gawat, kita turun daripada 300 kepada 200. Itu pun dikecam. Saudara, hari ini, setiap bulan, subsidi kerajaan untuk budi 95, untuk diesel, kerana diesel ini memang naik kepada sebagai rakyat. Tapi untuk petani, untuk nelayan, untuk pengangkutan awam, semua itu diberikan subsidi. Berapa jumlah subsidi satu bulan? Satu bulan 6 bilion ringgit. Jadi inilah masa kita bincang cara baik. Parti kerajaan, parti pembangkang.
According to ANWAR, the government is taking the best possible measures to manage the crisis without neglecting the burden faced by the people. People across the country are being warned to brace their wallets as the escalating conflict in the Middle East drives up the cost of everyday goods. Deputy Transport Minister Hasbi Habibullah says that while the fighting is thousands of kilometers away, the spike in global oil prices is triggering a financial domino effect, hitting Malaysian consumers right at the pump and at the grocery store.
Peperangan ini menjejaskan laluan minyak, laluan kapal-kapal yang membawa sumber tenaga dan juga barangan-barangan yang keperluan seluruh dunia. Jadi sekarang bila peperangan berlaku di sana, kapal sudah tidak dapat lalu sana lagi, terpaksa berpusing jauh di bawah Afrika. Jadi artinya mahal. Harga segalanya barang naik mahal. Harga minyak mahal. Harga segala-galanya naik. Rasanya kita juga akan terkesan daripada ini. Saya hanya memberitahu, mengingatkan sama-sama kita. Ini akan berlaku.
He adds that keeping within means through strategic savings is no longer just an option, but a necessity as the global economy reels from these growing uncertainties. A return to work from home is being rolled out as a shield against the global oil crisis. But the shift only works if staff stay disciplined and management keeps a watchful eye. Sarawak's Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts Minister Datuk Seri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah says this remote culture isn't a reinvention of the wheel, but a reliable playbook borrowed from the COVID-19 pandemic.
Dan mereka yang terlibat, industri yang terlibat itu perlu mengatur bagaimana hendak memastikan agar work from home culture itu dapat berjalan dengan baik. Insan, manusia yang terlibat perlu mendisiplinkan diri mereka sendiri. Apabila mereka disuruh kerja di rumah, jangan pada masa itu untuk bawa keluarga pergi cuti, pergi piknik dan sebagainya. That is wrong. Itu menunjukkan ketidakdisiplinnya diri sendiri.
Abdul Karim is also calling for rigid digital clock-in systems to ensure productivity doesn't slip while employees work from the couch. And while he admits physical industries like food service and field operations simply can't go remote, he argues that tech-based office roles are perfectly suited for the shift. By transitioning these digital jobs to the home office, the hope is to dramatically cut down on commutes and provide desperately needed relief at the gas pump. Under the soft glow of lights at St. Peter's Church in Padungan, Kuching, 35 men and women stepped forward to receive the sacrament of baptism during Holy Saturday. For these new Catholics, it was the culmination of a year-long journey of faith formation and study. The centerpiece of the evening was the church's unique baptismal pool, where the candidates were immersed as a symbol of their new beginning. Director of St. Peter's Church, Father Vincent Chin, says the preparation for this moment is rigorous, ensuring each candidate is ready for the commitment. And the community was certainly there to witness it, as 1,200 faithful packed into the pews inside, and an additional 1,200 congregants filled the seats outside. In total, nearly 2,500 people gathered to welcome their newest members home. The race is on for a missing American jet fighter pilot deep inside Iranian territory. For the first time since this conflict ignited over a month ago, a U.S. fighter jet has gone down within Iran's borders, sparking a high-stakes search and rescue mission between two warring nations. Tehran claims its advanced air defense systems obliterated a U.S. F-15 warplane in central Iran. While the Pentagon remains tight-lipped, reports indicate a split outcome for the two-man crew. Special forces have reportedly rescued one airman, but the second remains missing. Iranian state media is already offering a valuable reward for anyone who captures the American alive.
اهالی استان کهگیلویه و بویراحمد، مردم عزیز و غیرتمند، طبق اطلاعیه نیروی انتظامی کهگیلویه و بویراحمد، اگر خلبان یا خلبانان دشمن را دستگیر و زنده تحویل نیروهای نظامی و انتظامی بدهید، مژدگانی و پاداشی در خور به شما اهدا می شود.
The White House says President Trump has been briefed. Despite the loss, the president is signaling a business-as-usual approach toward the conflict. But this wasn't the only incident today. Iran also claims to have downed an A-10 ground attack aircraft over the Gulf. However, U.S. sources say that pilot has already been safely recovered. The U.S. military has announced the loss of several aircraft during Iran operations, including a tanker that crashed in Iraq and 3 F-15s shot down by Kuwaiti friendly fire. U.S. President Donald Trump this week took to TV screens across America in what critics say a rambling national address filled with a litany of lies. Many thought news of the address could mean he was going to make a major announcement. But in the end, it was more about boasting of so-called U.S. successes in Iran and promising more devastation if the country doesn't agree to a deal. RT correspondent Donald Corter unpacks the story.
We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. If there's no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously.
We're over a month now into Trump's war in Iran, and the U.S. president essentially says once again that it's just about to end, even though we didn't really hear from Trump about how exactly that's the case. Instead, he simply said that he's going to bomb Iran into the Stone Age. Trump also said that his military operation has been an overwhelming success, with drone and missile capabilities from the Iranian side essentially blown to pieces, according to him, of course.
Now, what have the Iranians been saying about this conflict?
Amid all of Trump's talk that negotiations are going on between Washington and Tehran, as far as the Iranians are concerned, that's a complete fantasy. The Iranian foreign minister has said that there are no talks going on between Washington and Tehran, and he said that Iran's going to continue to defend its country to the very bitter end.
We do not set any deadline for defending ourselves and will defend our country and people in any way and as long as necessary. It does not matter to us what deadlines our enemies have set for themselves. Of course, our advice is that before they suffer more damage, they should bring this war to a complete and permanent end.
Now, on top of that, the Iranian president actually also wrote a letter addressed specifically to the American people in which he questioned Washington's purpose in attacking his country.
Exactly which of the American people's interests are truly being served by this war? Was there any objective threat from Iran to justify such behavior? Does the massacre of innocent children, the destruction of cancer treatment pharmaceutical facilities, or boasting about bombing a country back to the Stone Ages serve any purpose other than further damaging the United States' global standing? Is it not also the case that America has entered this aggression as a proxy for Israel, influenced and manipulated by that regime? Is it not evident that Israel now aims to fight Iran to the last American soldier and the last American taxpayer dollar, shifting the burden of its delusions onto Iran, the region, and the United States itself in pursuit of illegitimate interests?
So another address from Trump, or at least Trump trying to address why exactly the United States is attacking Iran. And it seems like we know even less at this point based on how vague it was and how it contradicts what the Iranians have been saying about the conflict as well.
For the first time in over half a century, humans are back in deep space, and they have just crossed a major milestone. The 4 astronauts of NASA's Artemis II mission have officially passed the halfway point on their high-stakes journey to the moon. These are the stunning views that greet the crew of the Orion spacecraft. NASA has released the first images from the mission showing a full portrait of our home planet, a marble of deep blue and white shrinking in the distance. The milestone was hit earlier this morning, just over 2 days after liftoff from Florida. Astronaut Christina Koch says the moment the crew realized they were more than halfway there, the cabin was filled with a collective expression of joy.
Having just experienced incredible views of planet Earth and seeing the entire planet out the window in one pane, knowing that we're about to have some similar views of the moon in that same way is definitely getting me more excited for it. I knew that that is what we would see, but there's nothing that prepares you for the breathtaking aspect of seeing your home planet both lit up bright as day.
Coach is joined by Commander Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, and Canadian Jeremy Hansen. But it's not all sightseeing. Between catching their breath and calling home to their families, the crew is running a gauntlet of tests. Everything from checking medical kits to practicing CPR in microgravity. They are currently preparing for the most critical phase of the 10-day mission. On Sunday, they will enter the lunar sphere of influence. That is the moment the moon's gravity finally takes over, pulling them toward a historic loop around the lunar far side. If all goes well, these 4 explorers will venture farther from Earth than any human in history.
The whole point is to go back to the moon. The whole point of this mission is a campaign to get back to the moon. And the being able to see with human eyes the lunar surface is a huge milestone, right? And that just articulates the point, that we're going back to the moon, we're going to stay there, right?
This mission is the first big step toward building a permanent base on the lunar surface. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. Thanks for watching and have a good night.